Welcome to NBA Daily Reports. Here are the expected lineups for the games of tonight. Indiana Pacers vs. Brooklyn Nets. Expected lineups for the Indiana Pacers: T.J. McConnell, Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, O'Shea Brissett, and Isaiah Jackson. Expected lineups for the Brooklyn Nets: Kyrie Irving, Seth Curry, Bruce Brown, Kevin Durant, and Andre Drummond. Washington Wizards vs. Charlotte Hornets. Expected lineups for the Washington Wizards: Tomas Satoransky, Corey Kispert, Deni Avdija, Rui Hachimura, and Daniel Garford. Expected lineups for the Charlotte Hornets: LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, P.J. Washington, and Mason Plumlee. Milwaukee Bucks vs. Cleveland Cavaliers. Expected lineups for the Milwaukee Bucks: Drew Holiday, Wesley Matthews, Pat Connaughton, Jordan Nwora, and Sandro Mamukelashvili. Expected lineups for the Cleveland Cavaliers: Darius Garland, Karis LeVert, Isaac Okoro, Lauri Markkanen, Evan Mobley. Atlanta Hawks vs. Houston Rockets. Expected lineups for the Atlanta Hawks: Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, Danilo Gallinari, Clint Capella. Expected lineups for the Houston Rockets: Kevin Porter, Jalen Green, Garrison Matthews, Jayshawn Tate, Alperen Sengun. Boston Celtics vs. Memphis Grizzlies. Expected lineups for the Boston Celtics: Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, and Daniel Theis. Expected lineups for the Memphis Grizzlies: Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Dillon Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Steven Adams. Toronto Raptors vs. New York Knicks. Expected lineups for the Toronto Raptors: Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam. Expected lineups for the New York Knicks: Alec Burks, Emmanuel Quickley, Evan Fournier, Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson. Miami Heat vs. Orlando Magic. Expected lineups for the Miami Heat: Kyle Lowry, Max Struss, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo. Expected lineups for the Orlando Magic: Markelle Fultz, R.J. Hampton, Chuma Okeke, Moritz Wagner, Mo Bamba. Detroit Pistons vs. Philadelphia Sixers. Expected lineups for the Detroit Pistons: Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Livers, and Isaiah Stewart. Expected lineups for the Philadelphia Sixers: Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. Chicago Bulls vs. Minnesota Timberwolves. Expected lineups for the Chicago Bulls: Ayo Dosunmu, Javonte Green, Derek Jones, Patrick Williams, Tristan Thompson. Expected lineups for the Minnesota Timberwolves: Patrick Beverley, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Jared Vanderbilt, Naz Reid. San Antonio Spurs vs. Dallas Mavericks. Expected lineups for the San Antonio Spurs: DeJounte Murray, Joshua Primo, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob Poeltl. Expected lineups for the Dallas Mavericks: Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, Reggie Bullock, Finney Smith, Dwight Powell. Los Angeles Lakers vs. Denver Nuggets. Expected lineups for the Los Angeles Lakers: Austin Rivers, Malik Monk, Horton Tucker, Stanley Johnson, and Dwight Howard. Expected lineups for the Denver Nuggets: Monty Morris, Will Barton, Aaron Gordon, Jeff Green, Nikola Jokic. Oklahoma City Thunder vs. Los Angeles Clippers. Expected lineups for the Oklahoma City Thunder: Xavier Simpson, Vit Krejci, Georgios Kalaitzakis, Jalen Horde, Isaiah Roby. Expected lineups for the Los Angeles Clippers: Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, Ivica Zubac. Golden State Warriors vs. New Orleans Pelicans. Expected lineups for the Golden State Warriors: Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney. Expected lineups for the New Orleans Pelicans: C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, Jackson Hayes, Jonas Valanciunas. Sacramento Kings vs. Phoenix Suns. Expected lineups for the Sacramento Kings: Davion Mitchell, Justin Holiday, Harrison Barnes, Trey Lyles, Damian Jones. Expected lineups for the Phoenix Suns: Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, DeAndre Ayton. Utah Jazz vs. Portland Trailblazers. Expected lineups for the Utah Jazz: Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, Rudy Gobert. Expected lineups for the Portland Trailblazers: Brandon Williams, Kian Williams, CJ Ellaby, Greg Brown and Drew Eubanks. Thanks for watching the NBA Daily Reports, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to be informed.